We are never getting anywhere near a Chinese finger trap ever again. Not that that was an option before, but especially not now. What the fuck was that?
No.
It's like I didn't even hear a word. It sounded like fucking Rodan.
I shouted, "Quit denying it!"
Oh. If we have shippers in the audience today, there you go. There's free fuel for you.
Yeah, they're called the our friendly foot pals.
Friendly foot. We're just gonna play this called feet/shipping.
Oh God, what have we done?
Just to tantalizate our audience. Hello, boys. Anyway, that'll cost you $50. Anyway.
Man, this OnlyFans account just got weird.
Patreon strategy. You want to see these monkey feet? It's gonna cost you $50 a month for our foot tier.
Oh man.
See, I'm laughing, but now my brain's going, might just be crazy enough to work. Anyway, so yeah, bad trip.
Actually wasn't too bad of a trip at all.
Yeah, like I was kind of like, I knew nothing about this other than there was a fairly popular movie on Netflix right now. So when you told me like, oh, this is a prank movie, my first thought was like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ, this is gonna be a long hour and a half, isn't it? This was not helped by immediately going with, oh no, I'm naked and my dick is hanging out joke, like right out of the gate. I was like, oh no, this is gonna be death. But you know, kind of, like after a while, I was like, you know what? He's kind of nice. These characters are likable. It's kind of wholesome in a weird way.
Yeah, I mean, ignoring
all the horrible shit that happens, the gross shit that happens in it. Like, you know, at least it's like it's not being cruel for cruelty's sake. You know,
it's more like the only people who are really getting like cruel treatment is like is like just the actors involved. Like,
like they
like everyone
fights with some people, but like they make it clear, like, yeah, but you know, we made nice. We made it up to them at the end. So I was like, okay, yeah. Everyone's kind of in on it. I can get behind that. Like, I have a general just distaste for this kind of genre, just because I just don't like how mean spirited and cruel they always feel. For most time, the butt of the joke is like, look how stupid this random person is, which just feels like I don't need that. You know, and that's not a judgment on people who like it, you know, different boats and all that. But for me, I was like, I don't know. There's enough cruelty in the world. I don't need more of it.
Yeah, but like I've seen Eric Andre's stuff before, so I kind of knew what I was getting into, thankfully. And that's it. It's if you like Eric Andre, you'll enjoy this. If not, you might have a hard time getting into it. I'll say that much.
Like, I'll say that would be like probably like Borat 2, because at least it felt like pointing out the stupidity in people had a point.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm not very familiar with Eric Andre's material. I know I recognize it from stuff, but I've not really seen many of his actual like movies.
Yeah, his whole show was basically a talk show where he like lured in celebrities and did the most outlandish shit on set. Like Lauren Conrad, Dolph Lundgren were a couple of them. The Lauren Conrad one is like peak Eric Andre, because there's just some part where he just, for some reason, in the middle of the interview, just like chainsaws his desk in half.
No, sure, as you do.
And Lauren's just like, what?
Why?
I think that's also, I can't remember if that's the episode, but that's also like where that whole line, the whole, how could you say something so controversial yet so brave?
Oh,
or something
right.
like that.
Okay, yeah. And
that's also the episode with the whole you gotta eat the lettuce thing was like the other big one that episode is from.
I don't remember that one, but I know
it is weird. It is a fever dream. That show gets so bizarre. And especially like if you want to see some other awesome stuff, just see when he crashes the RNC and the DNC. DNC is where the "let me in" meme comes from.
Oh, okay, thank you. I needed that because it's like I don't know what any of these things are. I'm so lost.
Like so Republican National Convention, Democrat.
Okay. It's like this.
Yeah,
it's like when someone tries to describe anime to me. I'm like, I know you're speaking words, and I know they make sense to you.
Yeah, me, that's why I clarified
for this. That is no knock against anyone in their taste,
but yeah, just
not something I'm familiar with.
Yeah, it's yeah, but it is a weird show, and some of those pranks definitely transfer over to this movie. Like as you mentioned, first thing that happens is his clothes get sucked off by a vacuum, and the guy's just like, "What is going on here?" Just like trying to cover for him.
Yep, and there's definitely a lot of jokes like that. They're some grosser than others. Some where my instinctive empathy kind of kicked in a little too hard. I don't know if you ever have this sensation where like if you can like see something happen, you imagine it with such perfect clarity, you can kind of smell it, and it kind of like on a subconscious level, and it kind of triggers your gag reflex just a little bit. That happens to me a lot, so which is also another reason why I can't really watch these kind of movies. So when they have these scenes, and, like I don't know if it's really giving away that much. When they have like a profusely vomiting or getting covered in shit, or this one is kind of spoilery, gorilla jizz at one point. There's this weird part of my, not that I've actively gone out of my way to smell gorilla jizz, but I can kind of imagine. Just that kind of weird musky sense to it, and my brain immediately I know, see, there you go, now you get it too.
No, the imagery is just it's just the I don't want to relive the imagery of what we saw in there because it just and I'm not gonna lie, the behind the scenes kind of made it worse when they showed the choreography for it.
They practice it, yeah.
You're just like, all right, you gotta face fuck, you gotta really look like you're face fucking him, just like look back at him, so it's like you're next. I was like, oh god, no.
Which, by the way, you really gotta have some trust in your fellow actors, just be in that kind of vulnerable position, and just trust they're not gonna just ram your head into your crotch, into their crotch. You know what I mean? So like in a weird backwards way, respect. Yeah. But like that being said, like this movie does have a weirdly likable cast of characters in this kind of just over the top story of this guy who like knew a girl in high school and wants to reconnects her very briefly and decides he's going to go all the way to New York from Florida to visit her and get like this dream life he's always wanted. And you kind of know where it's going right off the bat. Well, for the most part. So him and his best friend, whose name is just Bud, steal his crazy sister's car. He's played by Tiffany Haddish, who I actually liked her in this role. I don't usually like her in movies, but I liked her in this, oddly enough. This did feel like it was kind of tailored towards her strengths. In a way that was less obnoxious, which is where they typically lean in Tiffany Haddish movies. So I think
it go ahead. It helps it like you could tell like she was doing some good improvising too. Like when certain things happened,
and the director knows when to say cut, which I always appreciate when people start people doing improv shit, because it always has actors who are not good at improv, and the director thinks, "Oh, all of this is good. We should put all of this in the movie," and instead cutting away at an appropriate time. And this movie, oddly enough, kind of knows how to do that, and it gets like just amount of time of this over the topness mixed with genuine reactions and moving the fuck on to the next scene. I think my favorite part was just when Tiffany Haddish walks up to a random cop, which is like, I was like, this can go many ways. Was my yes! Oh, you're peeking a little bit. I just want to bring that to your attention.
Right. Sorry.
And like in the middle of the conversation, he's like, "You're handsome," and the cop just immediately you can tell just gets a little flustered. And it starts like clearly having a harder time concentrating. And then she kind of leans into it more. And it just gets more uncomfortable. And to her credit, like she stops when it's appropriate. But at the same time, just watching this guy just go, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, yeah, mic issue fixed. Forgot to turn on the auto volume adjust thing. Nice. But yeah, that kind of has a problem. But that's good now. But yeah, it's just and like I said, it's like the thing that's like impressive is that they don't do anything that's like really overly mean spirited or anything. It's more like they're doing all the crazy shit, and bystanders are bystanders.
Yeah, like they're not doing it to people necessarily. It's not the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
There definitely parts like they provoke like arguments with some people, but they make it clear in the after credits, like, no, they're fine. Everyone's cool. We're all on the same page. Which, again, for me, I appreciate it because I was like, oh, that's like you didn't need to do that. That's kind of a dick move.
Yeah.
Which again is my big gripe with the last kind of movies. I don't know. Maybe I was getting older and I'm just more tired. But
yeah.
I don't know. Like those that kind of mean edge just doesn't do it for me anymore.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that kind of a happy middle, where it's like there's still some edge there and some over the top grossness in there. It's like, okay, I can definitely see where they're going with this, just to get a rise out of people, but it's never at them. They're never the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
The point isn't to just make people feel like shit or anything like that. So like, okay, for those reasons, I can get behind it.
Yeah, and like I will say, like I will say, if I did have an issue with the movie in terms of the humor, like it definitely felt like it was kind of puttering out by that third act. Like it still got some laughs, but like you can feel like they had the best jokes, like kind of throughout like the first 2/3.
Yeah. Although I think my favorite segment personally was the spoiler alert, by the way, was just the part where Tiffany Haddish has him over the over the ledge on the ceiling. That was my personal favorite bit.
That did have some good stuff. Like, I'm not saying it was bad. It's just like I felt like I wasn't getting as much out of it. But the part where she's interacting with the person who's like trying to talk her down was golden. I just like
it's like I know you have kids. Like, I ain't got no kids. You have family that loves you. My family doesn't love me. Somebody loves you.
Yeah. It's like, my family doesn't love me. My family stole my shit. Somebody yeah. And it's like the woman's pause before she said, just like freaking like it was like perfectly timed.
Like if that's one of those cases, like that is stuff that's legitimately hard to write. Like, and so to have it happen organically, it's like, okay, that's actually pretty cool. And that's kind of what you watch these kind of movies for, is to get those genuine reactions, again, like natural humor that come from just these real life situations. Reactions to absurd situations, I should say. Or just like the woman in the diner who just straight up rats out the main character. Yeah. And just has like I don't know, it's like your husband or friend or a boyfriend or whatever the case is watching her, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and then just like we're just like, you gotta not talk so much. As gross as that gorilla part was, so that shit still made me laugh pretty hard.
I don't know, for me, like I'm getting a little like, that's definitely for me is like, do I need a rape joke in 2021? But I still got a couple chuckles out of it. That was like,
it's mostly just because I think it was the part that cinched it was where he's like, oh shit, I forgot my phone back, and there he just goes back. And was like, oh god. Like, that scene was thoroughly disgusting, but like it was funny.
It was funny. I also enjoyed her breaking out of prison.
Oh yeah, the guy that's just like, just go. I don't want to go to.
Just like again, you always have to imagine, like, those movies. Like, again, part of the fun of watching those kind of movies is looking at and going, how the hell would you react to that? And just going like, how much do I want to get involved in this particular scenario right now? Which is
where's some of the other? Oh, I also got a good laugh at the juice bar prank.
The juice one was funny. Yeah, the juice part was funny. Now you were mentioning something earlier about the finger trap segment.
Yeah, that was an interesting story, because apparently the guy who played Bud almost quit the movie on that.
Yeah, what was the reasoning behind that? Because they went to the wrong barber shop. Because like the joke is they got finger trap on their dick, and like they're obviously fake. obviously.
Yeah.
Because they stretch out like those old like Stretch Armstrong dolls when you're
And so they went into the wrong barber shop, and the guy who was right there actually chased him out with a knife.
Oh shit! Okay.
You could see it in his hand.
Yeah,
like that's the shot. I was like, oh shit, he's got a knife! Run!
Jesus.
And because of that, like security was obviously stationed at another barber shop to prevent shit from going down. And so, needless to say, Lil Ren Holly or something like that? I can't remember the actor's name. The guy who played Bud. Yeah, he almost quit over that.
Damn.
Because I think he was a bit too freaked out over that whole incident.
I mean, that's pretty fair.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because, like, I'm just saying, if I was doing a stunt that involved that and I was, like, in a position where somebody actually, like, wanted to murder me and I could not quickly get away, I'd be a little disconcerted.
Yeah.
Little Rail Howery.
There we go.
Like, I don't really have too much to say beyond that, other than that fact, like, for this kind of movie, that, again, is not my genre of choice. Like, these aren't movies I typically seek out. I did get quite a few laughs out of this. And for that, I'll give it, like, full credit. It's like, okay, you did something right if you can make me laugh at this stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, very juvenile, like, high school, teenager humor. I typically, like, not that I'm better than. That sounds so pretentious when I say, like, oh, that kind of juvenile material doesn't work for me anymore because I'm an adult now and I like adult things. But sometimes you've got to laugh at a dick joke, you know?
Yeah. Oh, God. That's right. I remember how they fixed that situation.
Oh, the Chinese finger trap?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so if you're not into gross out humor, you might be. This one might make you feel a little squeamish. But yeah, like I said, it's like it is surprisingly like good-natured fun in that like they're not trying to like directly do too much to anybody.
Like I said, for a movie of this caliber, it's surprisingly wholesome. You know?
Yeah.
It's all about the power of friendship.
Exactly. And I just remember the woman crying on the bus when, like, during the whole.
And they have the the come to Jesus speech. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole forgiveness scene.
Yep. And I was like, and the other woman in the front was like, "Oh, that's so sweet!" Like really loud.
It's like, oh my God, people do that.
It just goes to show you, like, hey, I that is a reaction I genuinely believe would happen because I was like, because. If you see something like that in real life, you're like, oh, come on. You got to just take a moment.
Yeah.
Because how often do you get to see that kind of shit in real life?
Yeah.
Staged or no, you have to appreciate it. But yeah, like this isn't the deepest movie in the world. It's not the most complicated or anything like that. So there's not a whole lot to delve into. And beyond, like, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what's out next week. So
I don't know. I just know that there's not really anything else I want to watch right now because I watched this. I surprisingly got my fix from Godzilla vs. Kong.
We just released that video too, by the way, guys. Go check that out.
Yes. It's like I'm so glad they gave me fight scenes I could actually see.
Yeah, no, I got everything I wanted out of that movie. I was very happy.
Yep.
I got my stupid sci-fi bullshit. I got a monkey punching a lizard. I was content.
Yeah. It's like, you know what, Adam Wingard? You kind of redeemed yourself from Death Note.
Oh, yeah. That is like 50 Shades of Black. That's a movie people keep have to remind me that exists.
Never forget.
Because like I'm not even a big fan of like I like the anime. I never finished it, but I like it, and I watched it. Like this is fucking dog shit compared to the source material.
Dude, my wife. Oh, you have no idea how pissed she was.
I do. Like, I do know she was in their review.
All right.
It was like
you forget the movie. I forget the review.
It's like that was the only one I could ever get her out to do because she was like, "No, I'm gonna talk shit about this movie. Like this one's mine. Like going out for fucking vengeance."
Oh yeah.
Good times. Good times. Back in the olden days. Anyway,
all right.
I think that's all we got for this one, guys. We'll I'm sure we'll talk about something next week. So thank you all for watching. See you later.
See ya.